Hey guys, what's up? It's iFlynn here, and today we're going to be taking a look at Mag's Polarize build, which basically allows her to strip enemies' armor and their shields. Now, this used to be super overpowered in the past because it would allow you to nuke every single thing in the map. Sadly, that's not a thing anymore, so the ability has, to a degree, been nerfed. It still does the same thing, it just does it to a lesser extent. Like, things don't blow up as much, and the damage is a lot lesser too. So you have to put on a lot more power strength for the build to be useful, which obviously means you're going to lose out in other areas, like, let's say, for example, your efficiency. So, without further ado, let's take a look at the build, and this is what we're going for. So, her ability works a little bit like Nova Zen Prime, in the sense that it's based off your duration rather than your range now. So you throw on Prime Continuity and Constitution on here. You can obviously throw on something like Narrow-Minded again if you want. So for example, we could probably maybe replace Vitality for it. If I can actually end up finding Narrow-Minded. I don't already have it once, so okay, maybe we can't replace Vitality for it. Okay, I suck. But you know, you can do a lot. There's a lot of different ways to build the build, but this is just kind of a streamlined, simple version of it. At least for me, I don't like having too much duration on there, and I don't like nerfing my range too much, because having a decent amount of range is going to allow you to use your other abilities too. Like, let's say, for example, your Magnetize ability, right? So if we take a look at the build now, or not take a look at the build, but take a look at the effects. So these are level 145 Butchers, right? And you can tell by looking at their health. Their health bar is actually yellow, which means that they have armor on them. Now, if you press your third ability, whenever you have enough energy for it, because it takes a lot of energy, surprisingly enough, because of that blind rage. So go ahead and press this, and then we look at their health bar again. After you see the damage being dealt to them, they have a red health bar. That's because it stripped the armor away from these guys. Now, the amount of armor that is stripped is based off your power strength, and because these guys don't have a lot of armor, that's why they don't currently have armor, right? So you can just go ahead and kill these guys. They'll be weak to slash damage now. There's no need to have corrosive damage on, which is pretty cool. So for lower level mobs, Mag's great, you know? You can kill all of them super easy, but then whenever you get to the higher level mobs, which we're gonna go ahead and spawn in one heavy gunner, you know, it gets a little bit lackluster, because there's, you know, pretty much no chance in hell that you're gonna strip his armor. You have to spam it a lot for that to even be a thing and work. So we're just gonna go ahead and CC him, and then collect a decent amount of energy, and then we're gonna hit it. And you see how his armor doesn't get stripped. You have to actually spam this to strip all of his armor. So, you know, you're casting this X amount of times. Go ahead and spam these plates down. You know, how many times have we casted it now? We're casting it a lot, you know? And it's taking a lot of energy so many times. So this is like a really high power strength build that we have on right here. And we still haven't stripped all of his armor. And it's really just not worth it anymore. Same thing goes with his shields. Like, the higher their shields are, like, how many casts was that there of that ability? That isn't a realistic sort of circumstance there. That shouldn't happen. That guy shouldn't have lost all of his armor. Like, in a real match, that wouldn't happen, you know? That guy would be killed before you'd strip all of his armor away. So, you know, the build isn't worth using versus high-level enemies anymore. Same thing goes for the shielded enemies. If we just go ahead and spawn in, let's say we spawn in, who is the most overpowered Corpus enemy that I have right now? The Corpus Tech. All right, we spawn in this guy. This guy can give himself shields. Simulate him. Level 145. We go ahead and we hit our Zeneric, the crowd control him. So we hit this. You know, he still doesn't lose all of his shields. You have to spam it a shit ton for it to even affect them. So this build just basically isn't worth it anymore on higher level enemies. But early game, this can be a great tool, because it will basically... I messed up there big time. But it acts like a debuff, right? It acts like a massive debuff. That derp right there was insane. So, you know, it acts like a massive debuff early game. And that's pretty sweet. But that's really all it's good for now, at least in my opinion. You can combine this ability with your Magnetize ability, but we'll have a build like specifically for that later on, and I'll show you the effects on Butchers, because, you know, obviously it makes a little bit more sense. This ability is a lot better versus the heavier enemies, I guess you could say. So if we just go ahead and do our thing, get our energy like so. Go ahead, hit this. So if we strip all their armor, you see that these little purple things fall at him based on your energy color, right? And then we press 2. That's going to suck all those things up. That's going to suck all the enemies in with it, and any like bullets that go in there is also going to affect the enemies inside there, right? So what happens then is once the duration of this runs out, so right now we have about 15 seconds, it's going to do an explosion. It's going to basically just go in on itself and do an explosion and damage all the enemies around it based on the range that you have. So it's pretty good in that sense. Also, look at the amount of damage that it deals to these butchers. Obviously, butchers aren't the most threatening enemies in the game, but, you know, still. And then it blows up and does that there. Now, this ability is a lot more effective versus the heavy gunners and stuff. So the ideal thing to do right here is you'd get your heavy gunners. So you'd find, Captain 2 heavy. So you spawn in your 2 heavy gunners, like so. You stimulate. And then you would hit this ability right here, so your Polarize. And then you put a bubble around one of them, and then they both get sucked in beside one another, and every single bullet that they shoot out is going to be like sucked into the globe. And then it's going to basically collapse on itself and then do an explosion and deal a lot of damage based on the amount of, you know, stuff that you shoot in there. So you can spam your Polarize again to output more of the little purple things and get it sucked in there. And then obviously do more damage that way, which is pretty cool. So if we wait for it to blow up, it's going to do it right now. Obviously, unless I die, like that there. So we have to do it again. Good job, Flynn. Forgot that they could still shoot me whenever it was collapsing. So go ahead and get our energy again and do it again. So like this, you do that. Then you hit your 2. Then you take cover and you don't die like an idiot. Make sure not to go near them. Then you get all those hit markers right there. Pretty cool. Gonna fight one another. You can shoot into the bubble too. Remember that? Radiation prot them, make them fight one another. Pretty cool. And then you just wait. So we got 10 seconds. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 1, and it blows up. Or maybe it doesn't. Not understanding why it didn't blow up. Why won't you blow up, bro? We have to shoot in a little bit more? I don't know. That's kind of weird. Maybe they're too close together? I don't know, man. Didn't blow up. Keep on doing this. Come on, do your thing. Blow up. I shot into it and I stripped her armor, so, you know, it should have enough damage in it to blow up. It just doesn't blow up. That's kind of weird. For some reason, it's not blowing up. But, yeah, you've seen it blowing up on the butchers. For some reason it isn't doing it on the heavy gunners. There's a magnetic field around the target, ensuring that they're all nearby enemies and damage over time. Field reacts to bullets and shards created from Polarize. So it should just explode. I don't know why I wasn't doing that. That's a weird bug. So, yeah. That's kind of it. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button below. You want to see more Warframe content from me, hit subscribe. I'll see you guys next time, and the next mag video will be an actual magnetized build. So, making use of that bubble a little bit more. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.